Mike and Tom are registered with Stewart Partners Global Advisory LLC.
Common Sense Finance with Mike Wiginton and Tom Farrell of HL Wiginton Capital Management, an independent investment and financial planning firm in downtown Jasper. Mike is a chartered financial analyst charter holder, and Tom is a certified financial planner professional. They are here to discuss and give their thoughts on current financial and economic matters. Now, with Common Sense Finance, here are Mike and Tom. Welcome back to another edition of Common Sense Finance. This is Mike Wiginton. I'm Tom Farrell. You know, Mike, my son went back to school a couple weeks ago. I know you have one down at Auburn, mine's in Alabama, and you know it didn't take long before they got down there to where the authorities decided, hey, we're going to have to start shutting things down again down here. They're shutting down the bars and some restaurants and things like that to kind of keep the kids apart, keep them from spreading the virus around. But I know something that's very relative to that we discussed the other day was some economic issues that I know you wanted to share. So,
yeah, first of all, the whole shutting down private business, I would mention that is a form of martial law, government edict. Nobody really talks about that, but I read a blurb from this, and I'm not really familiar with this periodical, and we'll flash this across the bottom of the screen. It's called The Week. And they mentioned that in a normal year, and I'm sure this data is available in other places, that the restaurant industry employs almost 16 million people and is responsible for $900 billion in revenues. And the folks they spoke with, they refer to them as industry experts, predict that as much as 80% of those restaurants are not going to may not reopen.
Wow.
And that just gets me thinking about how we're addressing the issue with the coronavirus, the economic fallout, and I feel like that it's, to your point about the colleges that what's going on and that's a huge economic boost to Tuscaloosa and Auburn, Alabama.
Right.
Those universities are, and how this may stay with us for a while, and if we're not going to have another reaction maybe in the stock market because of this. And I do question if the way we're handling it is right. Not to get in a political conversation, because that's not what we're here for. But that certainly feeds back into economics, and economics feeds back into stock prices, and all that certainly is fair game.
Yeah, and I mean, ever since all this has started back in early this year, there's just a lot of unknowns around it. There's a lot of things that we've done that we say, that wasn't right, and a lot of information that's come out that that ended up not being accurate. So it's worrisome to me that some of the reaction we're taking are so severe, and like you said, it's akin to martial law when you go into somebody's bar or restaurant and tell them you can't open up, you need to shut down for a couple of weeks.
And I'll say this too, and we both know that at one point just a few weeks ago that it was reported on my Bloomberg station, on Bloomberg terminal on the news, but again, I think it's widely reported in other places, that if you take the top 6 stocks out of the S&P 500, the S&P would be flat. And so, this has been a boon for some companies, largely in the technology fields.
Right.
We know who those players are, but if you look at the breadth, the number of stocks that have done well, it's not good. It's the market movements have been really dominated and caused by just a select few stocks, and you get past those, and it's certainly way off those late March lows, but it's still, I would not say healthy, and nowhere as a whole, nowhere near back to where it was before we got into the lockdown phase, for sure.
Right.
So how much longer this goes, don't know, but I would, I'm certainly concerned.
Yeah, especially if we have a third wave, if we're not through the first one, a second wave, whatever the case may be. So, that's something we certainly will need to be keeping an eye on. So,
call us if you have any questions. We'll see you again next time.
see. I can't understand